Tá sim. There we go, my mic is unmuted. Hey guys, what's up? SpireKid here, and today we are starting a new playthrough. We're staying with Dragon Quest XI, but also we are going with Hell Mode, which is Maximum Dragonian. How are all of you today? I'm doing pretty good. We'll start Dragon Quest Hell Mode in just a moment, but first, here are today's top stories from Reuters TV. And there we go.
Watching Reuters TV. Here are your top stories.
Trump's acting Homeland Security chief resigns.
Pence and Trump have a good conversation after silence.
Bill Belichick declines the Medal of Freedom from Trump.
This is Reuters Now.
Chad Wolf, the acting Secretary of the U.S. Department of Homeland Security, announced on Monday that he was stepping down, making him the latest senior Trump administration official to resign following last week's deadly mob attack on the U.S. Capitol. Wolf did not specifically cite the assault that led to 5 deaths as the reason for his resignation, but said in a statement, quote, "Unfortunately, this action is warranted by recent events, including the ongoing and meritless court rulings regarding the validity of my authority as acting secretary." President Donald Trump withdrew Wolf's nomination to be permanent Homeland Security Secretary last week. On Thursday, Wolf released a statement urging the president to condemn the violence at the Capitol. A White House spokesman said the withdrawal occurred on Wednesday and was not related at all to Wednesday's events. Wolf's departure comes amid concern over security for President-elect Joe Biden's inauguration. Earlier on Monday, Washington, D.C. Mayor Muriel Bowser said she sent a letter to Wolf calling for a fresh approach to security after what she called last week's unprecedented terrorist attack, and asked Wolf to extend the National Special Security Event period from Monday through January 24th. Wolf said in a statement that he had instructed the Secret Service to begin National Special Security Event operations for the inauguration effective Wednesday the 13th instead of January 19th as previously scheduled. Wolf served more than a year in the acting capacity as Homeland Security Chief, taking over from Kevin McAleenan, who was preceded by Kirstjen Nielsen, who was preceded by John Kelly, who left the post to become Trump's chief of staff, another role that saw significant turnover. The DHS press office said Wolf would leave his post at midnight on Monday, and that FEMA Administrator Pete Gaynor will take over as the new acting secretary.
I would like to begin by addressing the heinous...
U.S. President Donald Trump and Vice President Mike Pence have spoken for the first time since the riot at the U.S. Capitol. That's according to a senior White House official who says they had a, quote, good conversation Monday evening. It would also mark their first meeting since Trump slammed Pence for not challenging President-elect Joe Biden's Electoral College win. Trump encouraged his supporters to march to the Capitol, while Pence presided over the certification process for Biden's victory. A source familiar with the situation said that Trump had not reached out to Pence to check on his safety when he was evacuated as the Capitol was being mobbed. The violence left 5 people dead, including a police officer. Some Trump supporters at the scene discussed assassinating Pence for being a traitor. The senior official says that when they spoke Monday, Trump and Pence discussed the riot and, quote, reiterated that those who broke the law and stormed the Capitol last week do not represent the America First movement. The vice president has resisted pressure from Democrats to invoke the 25th Amendment, which would remove Trump from office. The Democrat-controlled House of Representatives plans to impeach Trump on Wednesday unless he resigns. Impeachment charges accuse him of inciting violence against the United States. Some U.S. Republican lawmakers face growing blowback on Monday from several of the country's biggest companies, like Amazon, Comcast, AT&T, and American Express. They've all threatened to pull campaign donations for Republicans who voted last week to challenge the results of the presidential election. Meanwhile, a growing list, including Ford, American Airlines, and Google, said they will temporarily suspend all political donations to both Democrats and Republicans alike. The announcements are a sign that some corporate donors are reassessing their strategy after last Wednesday's violence in Washington, when hundreds of President Trump's supporters stormed the U.S. Capitol. 5 people died, including a police officer. Few companies have gone as far as chemical giant Dow, which announced it would withhold funds for select Republican lawmakers' entire terms in office, up to 6 years for those in the Senate. GE's suspension will last through 2022 and will then consider requests for support on a, quote, case-by-case basis. 147 Republicans in the U.S. House and Senate challenged Biden's presidential victory. The list includes top House Republican Representative Kevin McCarthy and Senator Rick Scott. It's unclear what will be the lasting impact of the company's decisions, as fundraising is in a post-election lull, giving corporations time to figure out their approach.
As many as 8 gorillas at the San Diego Zoo are presumed to have contracted COVID-19 from a human handler. That's according to the zoo on Monday. They are the first known cases of natural transmission to great apes, though for now the zoo says none seem to be severely ill and are all expected to fully recover. Lisa Peterson is director at the zoo's safari park.
They're experiencing some mild symptoms, and we continue to observe them, but they're drinking, they're eating, and they're interacting with one another.
3 of the critically endangered western lowland gorillas began coughing last week, and fecal samples from one of them detected the virus. Peterson said they suspect the team member who passed it on to the gorillas was asymptomatic.
That's despite all of the precautions that we take. We follow CDC guidelines, we follow San Diego County health guidelines. The team wears PPE around all of our wildlife, and so even with all those precautions, we still have an exposure that we think happened with that team member.
The zoo hasn't ruled out that other members of the gorilla troop have it too. The virus has previously been transferred to lions, tigers, and a small number of pet cats and dogs. Among the first known US cases of animals testing positive was a tiger at a New York zoo. The Malayan tiger, Nadia, recovered and was reported to be eating and behaving normally.
Last week's chaos on Capitol Hill was watched with alarm in boardrooms around the world, and it may have been the final straw for at least one bank. The New York Times says Deutsche Bank has decided to do no more business with Donald Trump. The German firm is the US president's biggest lender, with about $340 million in loans outstanding to the Trump organization. That's his umbrella group, currently overseen by his 2 sons. There was no immediate comment from Deutsche or the Trump organization on the report. But the bank's head of US operations condemned the violence in Washington in a LinkedIn post last week. Reuters reported in November that Deutsche was looking to cut ties with Trump. It's tired of all the negative publicity stemming from the relationship. Trump's loans from the bank are for a golf course in Miami and hotels in Washington and Chicago. The president was this week snubbed by World Golf, with the sport's US and global ruling bodies saying they would shun his courses for future events.
New England Patriots coach Bill Belichick said Monday he won't be accepting the Medal of Freedom from U.S. President Donald Trump. Politico reported on Sunday that Trump was planning to bestow the highest civilian honor on Belichick. That was days after a violent siege in Washington, where Trump supporters marched to the Capitol in an attack that left 5 dead, including a police officer. In a statement, Belichick did not directly mention Trump, but instead cited last week's tragic events in turning down the award. He said above all he was an American citizen with great reverence for our nation's values, freedom, and democracy. Both Belichick and Patriots owner Robert Kraft have had friendly relations with Trump. On the 2016 campaign trail, Trump read a glowing letter from Belichick where the coach praised his courage and leadership, which was criticized then by some fans. But the Patriots have slumped to their first losing season in 2 decades, and star quarterback Tom Brady now plays for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Belichick needs to remain in good standing with both players and prospective free agents as the team looks to fix up shortcomings on their roster.
You're up to date. Check back later as stories develop.
Alright, I'll be right back. I'm just going to check up on a friend who's currently live streaming. I'm just going to see what they're up to before I begin. I'll be back. Alright, I'm back. Sorry for the wait. Alright, since we're beginning hell mode, let's create a new adventure log. Alright. And now, here are the the settings I'll be enabling for Hell mode, which is supposed to be all of them. No shopping. You can't spend your gold coins on items. You'll have to get by with what you can acquire from chests and monsters. No armor. You can't equip any defensive items, so you have to make the most of any spells, skills, or items that can boost survivability. Reduce experience from easy fights. You only get half the normal number of experience points for beating baddies weaker than yourself, and sometimes not at all. Target tougher enemies to level up. All enemies are super strong. Every enemy you encounter will be tougher than usual, making your quest a true test of your combat skills. Only hardened warriors need apply. Shy Pox. Uncontrollable embarrassment will plague you on every step of your adventure. There's no telling when this crippling affliction might flare up next. Super Shy Pox. Favor the spectacle of seeing your allies crippled with embarrassment from time to time. Wondering what might get them so worked up? Only one way to find out. Townsfolk Talk Tribe. This isn't really, it's not really impactful to gameplay, it's just a little funny thing. A strange force will sometimes overcome the inhabitants of Erdria, making them tell a white lie or two. Who knows what fibs they'll try and pass off as the truth. And last but not least, party wiped out if protagonist perishes. The whole party will be wiped out if the protagonist is defeated. Make sure you keep him nice and safe. Alright. Should be all of them. Indeed. Push. Yeah, 50's fine, I think. Right, here we go.
This child, he is the one?
There's the mark. There's no mistaking it.
What in heavens are you doing here? And after that awful storm, too. However did you survive? You're a jolly one. What's this? Oh, you poor thing. Come here. Come here. Oh, there's no need to be frightened anymore. You're safe now, little fellow.
Begins.
Thanks so much. You're a lifesaver. trust me to lose my headscarf just before the big ceremony? So it's finally here, the big day. I can't believe we're going to be climbing all the way up there. Looks like Sandy's keen to lead the way. Come on, best not keep her waiting.
Alright, and we got the full list of the Dragonian quest settings on. So this will be interesting. Did I have it on? I have to look. Of course not. Right for
Folk of cobblestone, great land spirits, hearth and home. That's how it goes, isn't it? My granddad's been teaching me the prayer ever since I was little. He reckons the spirit of the land really does live on Cobblestone Tor, you see. As long as I can remember, he's been preparing me for this day. The day it would finally be my turn to climb all the way up there and offer my thanks. I just wonder whose idea it was in the first place, sending the village's young folk on such a dangerous errand. What if I take a tumble and do myself a mischief? Well, not to worry. Since you and me were born on the same day, I'm lucky enough to have a bodyguard along for the journey. Come on then. That craggy old thing won't climb its... Oh!
Ooh.
Ah! Monsters! They're coming this way! Watch out!
Alright. Put this on here.
Fight and fight some more! Go on! Go on! You can do it! Get him! Fight and fight some more! Go on!
Nice.
Crikey, I wasn't expecting that. I know they were only little, but I'd have been done for if you and Sandy hadn't been here to help me. And now we've got to go through that horrible dingy cave. Just our luck. I'll bet you anything that's where those awful things came from. Well, as long as you're with me, I've got nothing to worry about. Come on, let's get going. It's just a thought, but...
Must... Fight and fight some more! Go on!
Look at all this fog. Is this normal, do you think?
Help! Help me!
Cole? Quick! You have to help him! It's not fog at all. It's more monsters.
Alright, first boss.
Watch out!
Let's hope this ain't too bad at all.
Don't give up.
Oh no.
Fight, fight, and fight some more! Get him! Crikey! Here you go! Crikey! Don't give up! Go on! You can do it! Crikey! Here you go!
There we go.
Fight, fight, and fight some more! Go on! You can do it! Get him! Fight, fight, and fight some more!
Ow!
Don't give up! Go on!
Nice.
Victory!
40 experience, 22 gold. Nice.
I'm so proud of you!
I leveled up twice. New spell, Frizz.
I'm sorry, Gemma. I only came up here because I thought it'd be funny to jump out and surprise you. But then those monsters appeared.
What in the world is going on? I never heard anything about monsters appearing on the tour before. But never mind that now. Whatever were you thinking? You could have been killed. You take Sandy and get back to the village this instant.
Yes, Gemma. Sorry, Gemma.
You saved my bacon again. I knew you were tough, but crikey, you really have grown into quite the hero. Not far to the top now. Typical. It would have to go and start raining, wouldn't it? Come on, let's get a move on. Phew. It's just a thought, but... It's such a shame about the weather. I was really looking forward to that view. Well, we better say the prayer and get this ceremony over with, eh? What was that? Help! Help me! Help! We're alive. But how? That great big flash of lightning. It was almost like you made it happen. Look! The mark on your hand. Huh? Oh, it stopped. Well, we can worry about that later. All I know is that you saved me yet again. I don't know what I'd do without you. Now, we really had better be finishing up this ceremony. Humble folk of Cobblestone, great land spirits, hearth and home. Lift your voices up in prayer, sing it across all our drear. Blessed are we since days of yore, let it be so forevermore. Wow! Look! It just goes on and on and on. Whoever dreamed up this ceremony must have had this in mind. They wanted to show us how huge our world really is. Well, that's it. It's all over and now we're grown-ups. Should we head down and tell Grandad and everyone? They'll all be waiting for us at the bottom. Oh dear. Oh heck.
Oh hell. Oh my god. dear. I'll be back.
We're back safe and sound, Grandad.
Indeed you are, my dear. Thank the spirits for that. When we saw lightning striking up there, we got a little worried, I have to tell you. Well, I never. Sounds like it's nothing short of a miracle that you made it back in one piece. Well, there's no doubt about it, the spirit of the land was watching over you. Now tell me, my dear, how was the view from the top?
It was wonderful. I saw the sea stretch into the horizon and the sunlight playing on the water and... Oh, I've never seen anything like it in my life.
You're true Cobblestonians now. Only we have the pleasure of looking out over the world of Erdrea in such breathtaking fashion, you know. You're still young, and the day may yet come when you decide to leave Cobblestone behind. I hope our little ceremony has opened your eyes to a little of what may await you out there. Now, it's high time we were heading back. I'm sure your mother is eager to hear how things went, young man. Don't keep poor Amber in suspense.
Come on. Come and help you fetch the water.
Come on, you. Home time.
My mic was off. I'm probably gonna have to go off for now. I'm starting to get really tired all of a sudden. But the playthrough is not finished. Do not worry. Oh, sorry for that interruption there. But yeah, playthrough's not finished at all. That was part 1 of Dragon Quest XI's PS4 Pro Hell Mode. Thank you guys for watching. I'm Spyric, and I'll see you guys next time.